Confirming your age. Guys, give me 1 second here. We're trying to do something just a tad bit different. And let's go live. We're going to be trying to go live on YouTube and also go live on TikTok at the same time. Let's see here. Let's go with July. And this is my first time actually doing live on TikTok. So, and we sure. 1982. All right, let's see what we got going on here. July 19th. All right. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to be doing this and got it. Parent camera. Move closer. I didn't know all this was needed if I was going to be going live on TikTok as well. Okay, so my age is confirmed. And we are going to be going live. Ready to go live. All right. All right, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. Today's date is July 8th, 2025. Current time is 7:32. We're having a little bit of a late start to today's live class. But let's see if we can go ahead and find some stocks to trade for tomorrow. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over to investing.com. And for those of you who are going to be tuning in from TikTok, I am actually live streaming my stock picks on YouTube. I'm unable to do it directly on TikTok for the simple fact that, we're going to be doing something on a computer screen, and I'm not too familiar with TikTok live streaming, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to rotate the cameras, but I'll be playing with that a little bit later on. So as of right now, we are going to do the first things first. We're going to go ahead and go over to investing.com. On investing.com, we're going to be going over to the economic calendar. On our economic calendar, what we're going to be looking for, as usual, is going to be, is there anything major or anything new that's going to be happening tomorrow as far as economic news, reports, or anything like that that may impact the market tomorrow? So as you can see here, we have a few different reports coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10:30 coming out. And that right there is a 3-star. So right now, with everything happening in the Middle East, I try to stay away from trading any kind of oil. So that report is really not going to affect me. And everything else that you see happening here is really 1-stars. And then at 1 o'clock, we have the 10-year note auction coming out. And then we have the Fed meeting minutes at 2 o'clock tomorrow. So by that time, I'm typically out of my trades, and I would recommend that you guys be out of your trades as well. If you are in any trades, try to be out of them by 2 o'clock, because when the Fed minutes come out and the Fed speak, so they may release some news or talk about something that really could affect the market. All right. So as of right now, there's really nothing major happening that would prevent us from doing any trading tomorrow, besides trying to be out of the trades by 2 o'clock in the evening. All right. So the next thing that we typically would do from this point is we would normally go over to FinViz, and here on FinViz, what we would do is, and I'm sorry guys if you guys see me here on YouTube, I am talking to you, but I also have my TikTok set up over here, so I'm also paying attention to people on TikTok. So what I would tell you is, on FinViz, this is our stock screener, and typically with our stock screener, what we would do is we would come in and we would filter through our stocks. And we're doing everything live here. So as you can see on our stock screener, when you typically look at when you look at all your stocks before we actually start, filtering through all the screeners, and for those of you who are tuning in on TikTok, I'm doing my live right now on YouTube. So you can actually join me on YouTube and you can actually see what I'm doing directly on YouTube. Our YouTube page is going to be just my name, Adley Telford, and you'll see that I'm live. So on FinViz, which is one of my favorite stock screeners, what I yesterday we went through and we looked at a couple different stocks, and we had added, I believe it was 7 different stocks to our watch list. Right now, you can see we're starting off with about 10,219 stocks. If you go over to FinViz and we filter it by our pricing, we can actually go in and like I said, as a beginner trader, with people that take my class on Udemy, I typically say you want to stick with stocks between $10 and $50. You don't necessarily want to go ahead and try to buy more expensive stocks, because just because a stock is really expensive doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a better ROI. And I kind of showed you guys that when we worked on our spreadsheet. For example, you could buy a Tesla stock right now for roughly about 300, but Tesla has an ATR of about $19. So that basically means that Tesla stock moves on average for the past 14 days about $19, whether it's going up or down. So if you're a new trader and you're starting off with a $500 balance, and that means you can only buy one share of Tesla. Now you buy that one share of Tesla for $300 or so, just as an example, and it only goes up about $19. So that means you can only make $19 a day. But if you buy one stock that's about $15, but that stock has an ATR of, you know, you know, $1.50, meaning that stock goes up $1.15 on average a day. With $500, you can buy so many stocks and you can actually make a lot more money. But let's go ahead and do the quick math here. And like I said, for those of you on TikTok that are tuning in, I'm currently on YouTube doing my live stream. I'm not able to share my screen on TikTok, so if you want to, you guys can pop over to YouTube and see what we're doing here. And for those of you tuning in for the first time, because I see a lot of people on TikTok tuning in for the first time, my TikTok account is only about a week old. My name is Ali Telford. I am the creator of the course Stock Trading Simple Beginner Guide, where we're teaching individuals how to trade stocks. And when we're trading stocks, we're trading it from the point of view of a new trader who only has about a $500 account balance. And we're showing them how to pick stocks and make more successful trades with a $500 balance. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is, there's a lot of things happening all at one time. And this is my first time doing the live stream between YouTube and TikTok at the same time. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be going over to, let's go over here to TradingView. Now, for those of you who've self-taught traders, or you're using Robinhood, one of the best trading charting softwares that you could possibly use right now would be TradingView. And TradingView is what I use for my charting. So let's go over this list of stocks that we have available. Let's take a look here. Yesterday we went over and we had roughly about 8 stocks that we were looking at. All right. So the first stock that we're going to look at is going to be SG, which is Sweetgreen. And with SG, what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at it here. Well, it actually closed today at about, let's take a look here. SG, what price did it close at? It closed today at about $13.45. And then post market, it actually dropped down to $13.39. We're keeping an eye on that because with our moving averages right now, we're showing that we should be going into an uptrend. It's pretty much bottomed out. Moving averages showing that the green line is on top, and I color code my moving averages. Now with my moving averages, because I color code them, you're going to constantly hear me say, well, if the green line's on top and it's pointing up, the red line's on the bottom and it's pointing up, it's because that's an easier way for me to visually be able to look at my chart and tell that we're in an uptrend. And how I'm able to tell that we're in a downtrend is when I can see the red lines at the on top pointing down, green lines at the bottom pointing down. I can clearly identify with my moving averages that my stock is dropping. So one of the first stocks that I'm going to look at is stock symbol SG, Sweetgreen. Here we can see that we are in a clear uptrend. Well, we're about to be going to an uptrend from a downtrend. The downtrend is basically ended, and we're about to move into an uptrend. We have an area of resistance at the $15 and about the $15 mark, $15.14 mark. So what I've done is I've put it in my trend line right here at the $15.14 mark. Right now, the price is at $13 and about $13.39. I've set an alert right there on my trend line at about $15.49. So what I'm waiting for really is for the stock to go above and close above the $15.14. And once it closes above the $15.14, then I will buy that stock, because then the next area of resistance is not all the way until you get up to about $21.03. So this is a good buy right now. Well, not right now, but this is a good opportunity to buy the stock if it breaks through this area of resistance over here at about $15.14. And that's kind of like why I'm paying attention to it, and that's why it's on my watch list. I haven't purchased it yet. I could take the chance and say, well, I'm going to purchase it right now. But if you were one of my students, I would say, hey, you know what? With everything happening right now in the economy with the current administration, you may want to be careful and not just purchase a stock because it looks like it's about to go up. Um, you know, over the weekend, I was in 8 trades right here on my. If you guys come over to my screen on YouTube, and you'll be able to look at my screen. I was in about 8 different trades. Technical analysis, everything showed that the price, showed that the movement was going to be in an uptrend. And then over the weekend, our president basically said, "Hey, we're going to be enforcing the tariffs, which are going to be on July 9th, which is tomorrow." And Monday morning, the stock market, basically everything was basically a sell. And then he came back and he said, "Well, we're going to go ahead and give them an extension." And that was on Monday. He said that, and of course today everything rebounded, and I'm back in the green with all of the trades that I was already in. Now, this particular stock right here, like I said, we've already identified the entry point and a possible exit point. The next stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be stock YETI. All right. Now, and for those of you on TikTok later on, if you want to, you can actually go over to my YouTube channel. And if you go over to my YouTube channel, you can look at some of my previous lives, and you can also look at this live once I finish posting it if you're interested in trading stocks. Okay. And you're interested in some of the stocks that we're discussing. Now, this particular stock over here, YETI, and I'm always trading on the dollar time, on the 1 day time frame. And it's always between the 1 day time frame and the 4 hour time frame. Now, with this particular stock, we have a zone, which is the area of resistance. We have it at about $32.67, and that's the bottom part of the zone, and the top part of the zone is about $33.23. Right now, the stock price is $31.93. So we're pretty much right there. This stock has an ATR of about $1.14, meaning the stock goes up or down at least $1.14 a day. So probably by tomorrow, it should touch this zone, which is that area of resistance. And we'll see if not tomorrow, which is Wednesday. We'll see if not by Thursday, it breaks through that area of resistance. Our moving averages is already showing us that it's in an uptrend, as well as with our RSI. Our RSI is also showing that we're in an uptrend. So this is, I've already set my alert right about $33.33. So once our stock price breaks through that area of resistance and closes above that area of resistance, and then I will go ahead and I would purchase it the next morning. Now, as like I said before, especially to you guys who've taken the course, and when you take the course, you hear me say that a lot. Just because a stock price breaks through an area of resistance doesn't necessarily mean you want to go ahead and purchase it right at that point. You want to make sure that the stock not only breaks through that area of resistance, but it actually closes above that area of resistance by the end of day. And what I normally do, which is I call my little cheat, is if I see that the stock broke through an area of resistance, and then about like 345, 350, I keep an eye on that stock. And if I notice that, hey, it's going to close above that area of resistance by 4 o'clock, then about 350, 355, I'll buy the stock. So this way, the next day during the pre-market, while the stock's moving, I'm actually, I'm getting, I can get a little bit of an ROI, because the funny thing is, like right now, we're looking at this particular stock. It closed at the stock is YETI. That's the symbol. It closed at $31.93, right? But tomorrow morning during the pre-market trade, all right, and this is before 9:30, that stock, it can rise up to $32, $33. And so by the time you buy it, it's like what the heck happened is already moved up an extra $2, $3 before the market even opens. So this is why sometimes I like to, if I'll buy it instead of waiting the next day to buy it, I'll buy it like right around 345, 350. All right. So this stock right here, we're going to keep an eye on it. It probably won't reach and break through that area of resistance for another day or two. Okay. If everything continues and there's no new changes with the tariffs as of right now. Okay. Also, for anyone who's currently trading stocks, what I would probably tell you is, um, stay away from any of the major like retail stocks or anything else like that. As you can see, Amazon had a great day today as far as with sales, but their numbers were still down on the stock market because everybody's concerned about tariffs. So if you're going to be trading anything like Walmart, Target, anything retail wise, try to stay away from those stocks until we get this thing figured out what's going on with the tariffs. Oil stocks. With everything that's happening in the Middle East right now, we have a ceasefire, uh, but we're not sure 100% what's going to happen until we get like a real deal. I would also recommend that you kind of stay away from anything with dealing with oil or anything that has to travel through the Middle East as well. And this is one of the things that I talked about as well. We have your technical analysis and then you have your fundamental analysis, right? Your technical analysis is what I'm doing here. I'm looking at the charts with technical analysis and I'm saying, okay, this is our charts, this is our candlesticks, our moving averages, our RSI. Everything looks good, everything looks great. Um, and then you want to buy. But then you have what they call a fundamental analysis. And your fundamental analysis is basically anything that's happening in the news. So your technical analysis, everything could look good, but then the president comes out or some type of news report comes out or a conflict happens somewhere. And that's your fundamental. That's the news piece of it. And then, everything goes out the window and the stock drops, even though everything on your chart looks good. So I always tell every single person that takes my course on Udemy and every person that contacts me and I talk to, I said, if you want to be a successful trader, you have to be aware of what's happening in the news. Anyone that tells you that you can be successful trading solely off of signals, and I did a short video about that on TikTok and Instagram as well as YouTube. If you're solely using signals to trade, you're going to lose a lot of money. Those signals, I consider them a scam because they're not taking the fundamental analysis into consideration. They're just looking at the charts. All right, so let's look at the next one before I start rambling on. The next stock that we're going to be looking at is ALKT. All right, that's the symbol, ALKT. Current price on that stock, it closed at $30.19 post market. It actually went up to $30.27, which is only about 8 cents. So for those of you who don't know, we have what they call the pre-market that starts roughly about 7 o'clock and in the morning, and that's up until 9:30, right before the market opens up. And then we have the post market, which is right after the market closes at about 4 o'clock, and that typically is all the way until about 6 o'clock. So where you can actually, and if you don't have access to trading that, you can get with your broker, depending on who your broker is, and they can actually set it up to where you can actually trade pre-market and post-market instead of just trading during the regular trading hours. Now, this stock right here, we're looking at it. The price right now, the price right now is about $30.19 when the market closed. Post market, it went up to $30.27. Our area resistance is right here at about $31.18. That's the low part of the area resistance, and the top part of that area resistance is about $31.60. Now, even though with some of you guys who are experienced with trading, you'll see that you have an area of resistance and you'll see that line, which is that one red line. But area resistance is not just a line, it's typically a zone. And it could be a couple cents, like a couple cents difference. It could be, 2 cents difference, 25 cents difference. I've seen some areas of resistance where that the zone is as high as 50 cents to a dollar. So you have to be aware of that. So I set my area of alert is right here above that area of resistance, which is going to be about $31.85. That's why I've set my area of resistance. I'm sorry, my alert. So this way, once it breaks through, passes through that area of resistance, I'm going to actually purchase it because right now our moving averages looks really good. Our moving averages showing that we're possibly in an uptrend. It is consolidating with the moving averages. So it is consolidating. So it could probably turn around and go into a downtrend. But on our RSI, it's still right here. And let me increase this for those of you. Let's go ahead and increase the size of that. And like I said, for those of you just tuning in from TikTok, I'm actually doing my live right here on YouTube. So if you actually want to see the screen, what I'm sharing, it's you can go into YouTube and go to my channel. My name, Adley Telford, and then you'll be able to see the live video right there. Or you can watch this later on. Um, but on our RSI, we can see that the RSI right over here, it's actually right above, it's above the 50, it's actually around 55. So that lets us know that our RSI is showing that we're in an uptrend. Our moving averages are in the uptrend. We just want to wait to see if it breaks through this area of resistance and closes above it, and then it'll be a perfect buy. It'll be a good buy. Uh, what we're doing now is we're just going through our watch list, right? And our watch list of stocks that we went through yesterday, we picked, we said sometime this week, these stocks are probably going to hit, enter into that area where we want to buy for that price. And some of them, and only two of them has hit it. And we're going to go over those later on as we go down the list. But right now, we're just keeping an eye on them because they're almost there, and we just want to keep an eye on them. Next one that we're going to be looking at, a stock we're going to be looking at, is AA, double A, and that's the symbol name. I'm getting more people joining me on TikTok than on YouTube. That's crazy. All right, so here, this stock is in the, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Now the stock symbol is AA. Current price right now, it actually closed at $30.51. Post market, it went up to $30.70. It just broke, and I'm on a daily time frame for those of you who are high blade. For those of you who are just who are new, who are just logging in, I'm looking at everything on the daily time frame. Our area resistance, it broke through the area resistance, which was at $29.82. It went and closed above that area resistance. So right now, this is actually a great stock to buy. I wish I bought this a little earlier. I was kind of doing some research and getting ready for the live, so I missed out on the opportunity to get this one at about 350 today. But here's the thing. Right now, the area resistance is $29.90, $29.82. The price of the stock right now is $30.70. So if we were able to buy this tomorrow morning, what we're going to be doing is we'll buy it, and that'll be our entry price. Our stop loss will be right below our area of resistance, which would be about $29.50. So basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting like a dollar. So if for every stock that we buy, we're going to be putting basically like $1.20 at risk for every stock that we buy. So it's basically saying, hey, if the stock drops below 29, drops down to $29.50, automatically sell and let me get out of the trade, and I lose $1.25 per stock. So if I only buy one stock, I only lose $1.25. But with this being already breaking above the area resistance, our moving averages are pointing that we're in a clear uptrend. What's going to happen is we can buy that stock there at the $30.70, and we can expect it to kind of move up as high as $35 before we want to actually consider selling, unless something else major happening during that time frame. And our RSI looks really good. The RSI, we're right above the 50. We're above the 50, and so the RSI is also showing that we're also in a clear uptrend. This stock has an ATR, which is an average true range of about $1.20. So this stock's on average every day for the last 14 days, the stock has moved up at least $1.20 every day. Okay. Next stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be CZR. That is the symbol. That's Caesars Entertainment. This stock, I've been keeping an eye on it, and one of the reasons why I did not necessarily trade this stock, or I'm not too ecstatic about trading this stock, is because Caesars Entertainment, they just applied to open up a new casino, and they applied for a new permit. So if that permit doesn't come through, then what's going to happen is the stock is probably going to plummet and it's going to drop. So I don't like to trade stocks, which the movement for the stock is really based on permits, constructions, or approvals, and different things like that. But if you are willing, if you are interested in trading a stock like that, this stock right here with the moving averages, it shows you that it's about to, looks like it's about to go into an uptrend. It's just coming out of a downtrend. Um, it and right now our area resistance for this one is going to be $30.76. Current price of the stock is going to be $29.95. So we're right there. I mean, tomorrow it can actually, the ATR in this one is about, this stock moves on average for the last 14 days, $1.06. So it's right there. It's about to break through this area of resistance. Once it breaks through this area of resistance, which is right over here at about $30.69, and like I said, the price right now is $29.97. So basically, it has a 50 cents move. Once it makes that 50 cents move, it'll be above that area of resistance. And once it closes above that price, that'll be a good entry point or buy point. Okay. Of course, you would set your area, your stop loss right below that at about $30, about $30.25. You can set your stop loss. Yeah, so this will be a great buy if you're interested in stocks like this. I myself personally, I don't trade it because, like I said, I already did the research on this particular one, and it's really due to a contract for a permit to open up a new casino. Um, the next stock that we're going to be looking at is NOG, Northern Oil and Materials. Right? It's oil and gas production. This is a U.S. based company. It's not something that's like in the Middle East or anything else like that. In this particular stock, it actually just broke through the area of resistance on our daily time chart. On our daily time chart, it just broke through our area of resistance. It actually closed at $31.07. That's where it closed at 4 o'clock. But during the post market, it actually dropped down to $29.52, which is right in the area of which is kind of like the bottom area of the area of resistance. So it closed right above the area of resistance, but during post, it didn't close well above it, but it closed right there above it, like literally on the line of, on the top line of the area of resistance. And then during post market, it just came right back down. So it's still in that zone for that area of resistance. So we have to wait for it to have a clear break where it actually clearly breaks through it and closes above it. And then I would recommend a buy on this one. And the only reason I would recommend that is because we have a current administration which is big on America, like getting their own oil and drilling and producing their own gases. So this is one of the reasons why I would actually consider this oil stock, because it's not something that I'm dealing with as far as they're getting their supplies from the Middle East. All right. The next stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be WSC, and that is the stock symbol. And like I said, for any of you guys there, everybody's saying hi. For any of you guys there who are interested in seeing what I'm seeing here, I'm actually on YouTube live, doing my sharing my screen, showing some of the stocks that we're looking at. So you can just put in my name, Adley Telford, and it will actually pop up, and you guys can potentially trade it. See what I'm looking at if you're interested in trading any of these stocks. One more thing I wanted to go back to. I wanted to go back to the previous stock that we talked about, which is AA. That's the name of the stock. It's a company that's actually based out of Canada, and they provide us with aluminum. And for those of you who don't know, Canada provides 40%, 40.6% of the U.S. imported aluminum as of 2023. So that's an $11.1 billion amount of $11.1 billion worth of aluminum that the U.S. imports from Canada. Now, once again, tariffs. We got to be concerned about tariffs. We have to know what's going on with tariffs. Our president is basically saying, "Hey, we're going to we're going to put tariffs on everything." And he just basically had a big argument with the Prime Minister of Canada, and so it's kind of like a little bit of a back and forth. So that stock, it actually looks like a really good buy, but if things don't work out between Trump and the Prime Minister of Canada, then that stock can possibly drop because they're constantly at each other's throat. And that's an example of the fundamental analysis. The charts look good, everything looks good with the charts, but the fundamental analysis tells us with the news, Canada and the U.S. tariffs, Canada, Trump, our president and their prime minister is not getting along. So, do you really want to take the chance of buying a stock, even though the technicals look good, knowing that our president at any given time can say, hey, I think it was what it was a 59% tariffs on everything from Canada at one point. So he can, lose his cool on that. So you want to stay away from stocks that are extremely susceptible, that that could be affected directly by what's happening in the in geopolitical news, or between political leaders. So that's one of the things that you want to be concerned about. So we went over all of these stocks here that you can see in blue. These are the stocks that we have on our watch list, and then the stocks that we have here in green are the stocks that I'm currently in the trades for, and these are stocks that I'm currently trading. um, SMCI, and I'm going to try to make this one a short. Yeah, so we're going to try to make this one no more than another 10 minutes, and then we're going to be closing this out for the day. Um, this one, SMCI, is a stock that I bought. And here is the yellow line is basically my entry point, which is I entered the stock at $48.40. Currently, the current price of the stock right now is $49.11. It has a lot more room to grow. It has a lot more room to grow. So I'm kind of like, this stock could really, this stock can really, really move. Um, you just got to be a little bit patient with it. It has it has an ATR of about $2.53, meaning this stock moves up or down about $2.53. And uh, and anytime you guys see me wave, it's because somebody's posting hi. Um, so this stock has an opportunity to move a lot, especially with the ATR, meaning that stock moves up and up or down an average of $2.53 on average for the last 14 days. So there's a lot of room for room to growth with this stock. Okay. The other stock that I bought, which is NNE, that's the stock symbol. I actually entered into this one a little bit earlier. I entered into this one at the price point of $37.44. Currently, right now, the stock price is about $33.72. I bought it right at the top, and then it had a dip. And now, with the moving averages and RSI is showing that it's still up on an uptrend. I just bought it at the top before it had another dip, and now that it has done the dip, and now it's returning back on track for the uptrend. So I should be, I should be back in the green in the next 2 days or so. This one actually has an ATR of $2.97. So this particular stock, NNE, moves up or down an average of $2.97. And once again, for those of you tuning in, I am doing the live stream on YouTube. So if you want to, you guys can go to YouTube and watch my live stream and see what I'm seeing see what I'm doing on my screen. Live stream, my YouTube channel is going to be my name, Adley Tofor. Just type that in and you'll see the live stream pops up. So this one right now will be a good buy for anyone because it's about to break through an area of resistance. Next stock that we're going to be looking at is GRRR. This stock over here, I'm actually in the trade for this one. The yellow, as you can see, I bought the stock at $21.62. Current price of the stock is $21.25. That price is still right above the area of resistance, so it hasn't gone down through the area of resistance. This stock is another tech stock, and moving averages showing that we're in an uptrend. RSI shows that we're in an uptrend. So this one, and today it was actually up as well, and it's just trying to recover from yesterday when we came into the start of the week on Monday. As you know, the entire market was down, so it went down about $2 yesterday, and so now it's kind of recovering. It actually didn't even go down that much. I think it was like $1.25 yesterday. The next stock that I'm in right now is going to be SMTC. With this stock over here, I actually bought into the stock at the price of uh, 45.28. Current stock price is 45. Is 45. What is it? It's 45.10. So once again, stock moving averages is showing that it's in an uptrend. RSI shows that we're clearly in an uptrend, so we're looking good, and I'm very confident with this one. It had just broke through an area of resistance. It hasn't fall back down through that area of resistance, so I'm very confident that this stock is going to continue rising over here. All right, next stock that I'm in is going to be MP. That is the stock symbol MP. MP. I bought that stock at 31.86. Stock price right now is 31.19, and we are clearly in an uptrend. We are recovering from the pullback from yesterday, where the market overall was just down. And we're about to break through another area of resistance. So this one right here, we're clearly we're good with this one. Another one that we have, another stock trade, another trade that we're in is going to be AAOI. 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 I bought into that stock at the price point of $25.57. Current price of the stock is $26.88. A lot more room to go. I have a stop loss set. I have a stop loss set right over here at about $24. I'm not worried about that. And I have a take profit right above $30. So like right there at $30. So at $30, I'll be taking my profit and probably walking away depending if anything else change. This right here is a semiconductor company. Uh, Another stock that we're in is going to be, let's take a look here. This one is going to be DOC, DOC. This stock is a long-term hold, okay? And the reason why this one is a long-term hold is because the ATR in this one is not that much. It's about $1. It's about $1.05 for the ATR on this particular one, and it's not moving as fast. But what happened is our moving averages just aligned. This should let us know that we caught it right at the beginning of the uptrend. It broke through an area of resistance. It had a little bit of a pullback yesterday. Today, it actually kind of made up for what it lost yesterday. And we're looking good. I bought it at $17.93. Current price is $18.21. All right. The other stock that we're in each one of these, what I did was each one of these, I have $500 in them. And probably in tomorrow's live stream, I'm going to be showing you guys the Excel spreadsheet that I have set up. So now I'll be able to kind of tell you if I'm going to be putting 500. It's going to help me easily figure out if I want to put 500 or $1,000 in each one of the trades. So this one right here, EVH, I bought this stock over here at $11.66, and current price is $11.78. So I'm in the green on this one, and I bought it like right there on that line of resistance, because the area of resistance is roughly at about $11.54. So I bought it like right above that area of resistance. And my stop loss is right below that as well at roughly $11.45. That's my stop loss. But right now we're in the green, and there's lots more room for it to grow as well. The next stock that I'm in that I bought is going to be ZETA. We bought that stock at $15. Right now the stock price is $15.39. We bought it right there right there above the area of resistance, which is about $15, about $14. I know $14.90 is that area of resistance. So I kind of bought it right there, and right now we're in the green, and we're expecting that stock to go up just a little bit more. Well, not even a little bit more, a lot more, because as you can see here, if you guys tune in and go to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see the live. So if you guys can see the yellow line is so here, there's a lot of opportunities for the stock to grow. There's a lot more opportunity for the stocks to go. But once again, I'm going to have to keep an eye on that stock because there's a lot of different things happening right now. So especially with all these tariffs, I'm hoping I can get out of this stock pretty soon. Especially with this current administration, with us constantly going back and forth with everything with tariffs, I'm kind of really wary about that. So I'm trying to stay more focused on a lot of technology stocks. That's why you'll notice, like, out of all the stocks that I have here, majority of them are technology stocks, no retail, no oil, except for one. Right. The last one is going to be Bull, which is Webull stock. The Webull stock, I actually bought that one. I bought Webull at $12.84. The current price right now is $12.85. Webull moves an average of about $1 and $1.22 a day, whether it's up or down. And the reason why I bought it at this price is because even though the moving averages right now, the moving averages show that we're in a possible turn into an uptrend because it had bottomed out. Webull is typically around the price of about $11.64. So once it got above that, which is like their average rent area, is normally Webull is normally between the price of $11.52 to about $12.41. So once it broke through that area of resistance and it was at like $12.80 something cents, 84 cents, I just bought it, and the chances of it coming back down is kind of slim, to next to none. Well, I won't say next to none, but it's pretty slim. Okay, so those are the stocks that I've already bought, and we went over the stocks that I bought. We went over the watch list, and like I said, tomorrow I hope you guys were tuning in here. Tomorrow I would make sure I try to add a link or into the description. This is my first time going live on TikTok, because I have more people on TikTok watching me than people on YouTube for some reason. And what we're going to be doing is I'll also see if I can kind of share the screen with TikTok. I may not be able to share the entire screen, but you guys will be able to see what I'm doing here on the screen as well. And tomorrow we'll see where we land, and we'll see if we can pick some additional stocks to trade. Okay. For those of you who tuned in, thank you guys very much. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, Monday through Thursday, 7:30. I will be going live on YouTube and on TikTok. Thank you guys for joining. You have an awesome day. Now, how do I stop going live? Yes, I am an old man. All right. And we can stop the live where? Boom. Here. Okay. Hmm. Yep. And now, there we go. Awesome. And we just stopped our live on TikTok, and we're going to stop our live here on YouTube.